My mother-in-law always knew exactly what I was thinking, because for 2 years, she'd been reading my diary while I was at work. My name is Sarah. I'm 26, married to Daniel for 3 years now, and for the first year of our marriage, I genuinely thought I'd won the mother-in-law lottery. Linda, Daniel's mom, lived with us temporarily after her hip surgery, and somehow she always seemed to understand exactly what I was feeling before I even said a word. She'd bring me tea on days I was stressed about work, without me mentioning anything. She'd casually reference a fight Daniel and I had, one we'd had privately, behind closed doors, and offer advice like she'd overheard it, which I assumed she had, since the walls were thin. I wrote in a diary every night. It was the one place I processed everything. My insecurities about the marriage, my frustrations with Linda staying longer than planned, even doubts I never said out loud. It felt safe. Private. Or so I thought. The first sign was small. I noticed the corner of my diary's back pages felt slightly softer, slightly more worn than the front. Like someone had been flipping specifically to recent entries, not reading front to back like I would. I brushed it off. Then, one evening, Linda made an offhand comment about how she understood why I felt suffocated living with in-laws. A word, suffocated, that existed nowhere except inside my diary, written the night before. I'd never said that word out loud. Not to Daniel, not to anyone. I told myself I was being paranoid, but the next week, I did something I'm not proud of. I set up a small, motion-activated camera disguised as a phone charger, pointed at my closet where I kept the diary hidden inside a shoebox. What I saw over the following days broke something in me. Every day, almost exactly 40 minutes after I left for work, Linda would enter our bedroom, go straight to the closet, retrieve the shoebox without hesitation. She knew exactly where it was. Read for nearly 20 minutes, then place it back precisely as it had been. She wasn't guessing. She'd done this enough times to have a routine. I didn't confront her immediately. Instead, I started writing false entries, small test details that weren't true. Things I'd never actually say to Daniel. 2 days later, Daniel came home and gently brought up one of those exact fake details, phrased almost exactly how I'd written it, saying his mom had mentioned being worried about us. That's when I showed him the footage. He was silent for a long time. Then he confronted Linda that night, footage playing on his laptop in front of her. She didn't deny it. She said she'd been doing it because she needed to know if I was truly happy with her son, that she didn't trust me fully, and that reading my private thoughts felt like the only way to know the truth about our marriage. Daniel was furious, more than I'd ever seen him. He told her the invasion of privacy wasn't just about a diary, it was about trust, something she'd deliberately broken to manipulate our relationship without either of us knowing. Linda moved into her own apartment 2 weeks later. Her hip had healed months ago anyway, we later realized. She'd simply extended her stay each time using new excuses. I've since started therapy, partly to process the sense of violation, and partly because I still catch myself hesitating before writing anything honest, even now that I know she's gone. Some people say I overreacted setting up a camera, but I think about those 40 minutes every single day, and I wonder how long it would have continued if I hadn't checked.